Welcome to Retrologic. I'm Dan Caparello here with John Cummins. And this week we are chatting about Sonic the Hedgehog. We're chatting about Excitebike and Super Metroid for the last time. Probably not for the last time ever, but for the last time for Crossplay at least. And I've got John here with me today to talk about all that stuff. And John, how are you doing? What is going on in the world of John Cummins?
I'll tell you one thing, not a whole lot of playing games, just buying games and lots of adulting this week.
That's the adult life, isn't it? Buy all the games, play none of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have all the money to buy games as an adult. You know, when you're a kid, you don't have any money to buy games, but you have plenty of time to play them.
Yeah.
It's a
yes.
It's a very rude deal that happens. But
we got to find a way to fix that. Retire. We all need to retire early. That's what we need to do.
That's my plan, man. I've been putting back, and I'm hoping that retirement comes earlier for me than what I hope I'm not retiring when I'm like 70, like I know a lot of people will be. Like it just keeps getting pushed out further. But I don't know. Goal for me is retire early and just play games all the time. I'll have like many kids that can help take care of me. So
there you go.
That's the plan.
Well, speaking of games, Retrologic isn't just a podcast. It's also a retro game store. Visit Retrologic.games to check out our growing inventory of cleaned, tested, and 100% authentic retro games. And with that out of the way, John, tell me about all these games that you bought this week. Tell me.
Man, I bought too many games.
Said no one ever.
So I got my PSP up and going. Started off, and this is what pushed me towards starting to buy some PSP games, because I never really had any. I never owned a PSP before, so this was all new territory. I didn't even know how to put one in.
Well,
I had to look up the correct, look up everything. I didn't want to break anything because the drive was not working as it was. So I was like, well, I need to make sure I get the right orientation and everything, how you put this thing in. So I get my PSP. This thing is immaculate. Super nice condition.
Wow.
Not bad for being a parts only sale on eBay. I was expecting they didn't have really great pictures, but it was all right looking. I was going to repair everything.
Yeah. When they don't have great pictures, you're just hoping that it isn't a piece of trash at that point.
Oh yeah. And usually parts onlys are the worst. Yeah. They're usually like junk. Like people, they're, as the description, they're usually bought for parts. Like if you need something like a disk drive off of it or something. But in this case, seller says disk drive doesn't work. So I get it. It's in really good shape. I couldn't believe how clean it was. And I figure out how to put a game in it and start messing around with everything. So I buy a battery from Amazon, which there's a certain brand I found out you don't buy because they don't work. Had to find out the hard way.
Uh-huh.
So
do you remember the brand?
It is a Cameron Sino. Anyway,
all right.
It has nothing on the battery pack. The one that I have that does work has the same etching on the battery pack like the Sony branded ones do. Tells you what size they are. Anyway, I bought one and it was dead. I had it in my PSP. PSP turned on. 5 minutes later, it shut off on me while I was doing things, and then it would never even come back on. Wouldn't hold a charge. Plug my charger in, and it would charge for 2 minutes and then just quit. So at that point in time, I didn't know if I had a bad charging port on my PSP or if I had a bad battery. So I started investigating, and I bought a bunch of different batteries that are offered, and I finally got one in a couple days ago and charged it. First thing I did was just try to charge it fully, and it charged up. So I was good. It was just the battery. So I basically got a $35 parts only PSP that just basically needed a battery and a bracket bent. That was the only thing wrong with the disk drive. Was a little piece of the bracket was bent, and it wasn't allowing the disc to get close enough to the laser. That bracket was kind of arched up.
Well, because you were planning on getting a whole new disk drive for that thing, right?
I bought a disk drive, so now I have a spare disk drive.
Yeah. Well, if that one ever goes out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm set. I have parts, but I also have a ton of batteries now. But so yeah, that piece was arched up. It wasn't allowing the disc to get close enough to the laser to read, so it was just constantly spinning over and over again. So I pinned the bracket down. Tactics Ogre fires right up. I have zero problems. Everything's golden. This thing works like a dream now. So the first thing I did is I went and found a bunch of games for this thing so I can start experiencing the PSP that I didn't get to experience when it came out in 2004. Gosh. So I bought none of these were at the same place, just random pickups here and there, but I bought Lumines PSP, Phantasy Star Portable, Final Fantasy 2, is it Jeanne d'Arc, PaRappa the Rapper, Patapon 2.
Yes!
So these are all PSP games. I bought a random copy of MLB The Show 06 because I needed the game case and I needed the little actual plastic structure that goes around the disc. My Final Fantasy 2 piece was destroyed. Like, it was in pieces almost. So basically, I just kind of popped it open slightly, slid MLB out through Final Fantasy, and now it has a brand new... Yeah, because I'll never play MLB The Show.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so now I have a nice working copy of Final Fantasy 2. Everything's great. Perfect in the world again. Then while I was at this flea market...
I love it.
They also had Game Boy Tennis, which I didn't have, and a game called Dino Riki that I never even heard of for the NES.
Oh, Dino Riki is Adventure. Is that Adventure Island?
It says the Adventures of Dino Riki. I've never seen this game, but it was a Hudson Soft game, so I was like, well, I'm gonna pick this up because I don't know what it is.
I've played it before.
It was $10. This copy is immaculate. I opened it up and checked because I was like, this looks like a reproduction, but who would reproduce Dino Riki? Because I was
right, exactly. You're pretty safe with that one.
I was like, it's a $5 game. I overpaid for it, but I didn't know what it was, and it was so clean I couldn't pass it up. And so I bought that, and I'll play it eventually and experience that. But the last thing I'll talk about here is the random Virtual Boy lot that I found at my local store. I was going into the local store to grab my PSP charger because I didn't have a charger for it. And I called earlier, they had one. So I was just going to jet in, grab it, get out. So on the path to where they have it at, on the shelf, they have a case off to the side that's set out for handheld games. And I just I never look in this case because they always have a lot of the same stuff. Kind of glance over and notice a Virtual Boy game because I only seen the one. So I kind of wander over to the case, and there's 6 of them, and they're all about half price. So out of that lot, I picked up Waterworld, Vertical Force, Galactic Pinball, Wario Land, Golf, and Panic Bomber, the US version. I already have the Japanese version, so now I have the US version. So yeah, my my Virtual Boy collection just keeps growing. I think I'm 5 games away from a complete set.
Yeah, I was going to ask. You're getting dangerously close to a complete set.
Getting really close. I'll try to pick up the odds and ends ones. The big one's going to be Jack Bros.
Yeah, good luck.
That's a $400 game.
Good luck with that. Yeah. How much is the Japanese one?
I was talking to Eric Plunk about this. I think it's like $100. So I might end up going with the Japanese version. Either that, or I have a couple extra copies now laying around a Virtual Boy that I might try to sell and stock up some money and then go buy the real version of Jack Bros so I can have an all US set.
Seems
I do have
you're so
extra
close.
Wario Land, which I think is like a $70 game right now. So
yeah. You could get there.
Yeah, that'd be a good chunk.
Sell some of those amiibo behind you.
Oh, jeez. I'll sell my Poochie. I think that's like $100.
Yeah. You could just trade somebody that Poochie.
I'll get there fast.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Good.
and the only game that I've played worth mentioning is the the Misadventures of Tron Bonne. This was a game that I picked up on the PlayStation Store and then did a little bit of experimenting with transferring a game from the PS3 to the PSP via USB. You can download any PS1 classics from the PlayStation 3 store, and you can transfer them over to your PSP if you have a big enough memory card. So I played like an hour of it. I never got to play it, and a lot of people were telling me about it, so it's like $5. I think it was $5.
That's like Mega Man Legends style
3D
platforming, whatever. Yeah, cool.
Yep.
I have zero experience with any of that, but it sounds interesting. It makes you kind of want to pick up a PS3 just to get a bunch of those PlayStation classics that are like way overpriced that I'll never play.
Oh yeah, I've got a wish list of like I think 20, 25 games or so that I'll probably just start buying like one every week or so until I knock my list out. They're like $5 or $10.
Well, I'll tell you, John, this week was a great week for random pickups. Because here's the story. Here's how it went down. I walk into my local Savers, which is a chain of thrift stores, kind of like Goodwill. And I go to Savers a lot because I just never find games at Goodwill. I don't know what's wrong with the Goodwills in my area, but they just don't have them. But Savers just throws them all on the shelf, puts the same price tag on most of them. And, you know, like they'll go up and down a little bit, but nothing's over $7. And I always walk over to the shelf and it's usually like, oh, there's those Wii party games and there's those PlayStation 2 sports games that I always see. And I will usually pick up whatever GameCube games they have if they're in their cases, because the cases for those are worth $5 by themselves. Yep. And then every once in a while, they'll have like an accessory in a random place in the store, because like one time they had a zapper over by the other like toy guns. And I was like, okay, cool. $2 for a zapper. I'll take that. And random controllers and like nobody there like knows what they're doing. So they just kind of put stuff in random places. So it's very easy to kind of just dig through and find cool stuff. But it's usually not like high dollar, you know what I mean? Like by the time I get there, it's usually picked through. So, but last Thursday was Dan's day at Savers. Okay. So I walk up to the game shelf and I can see them from afar. There's a whole line of Dreamcast games just sitting there. And there's a dude in front of me in the aisle. And he walks up to it and I'm just like praying in my head. I'm like, dear God, please let this man just keep walking. So I can get a look at these games. He walks off. And I walk up, and I'm just going to give you a short list of $6 a piece, a short list of the Dreamcast games that I picked up that day. It's quite a few games. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation, 2 copies of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Jedi Power Battles, Star Wars Demolition, Spider-Man, Space Channel 5, Rayman 2, Power Stone 2, Power Stone, Hydro Thunder, Evolution, The World of the Sacred Device, Echo the Dolphin, and Crazy Taxi 2. This is a $450-ish lot. And I think I got all of these for like $120 at about $6 a piece. Because that's like 2, 4, 6, games. 8, 10, 12, 14 games. So less than that then. It's like 100. Mm-hmm. 100 or so. And I was had tears at the store because I was like, this doesn't happen anymore. You know, this used to happen a lot more in like 2005, 2008. But most people know, or at least know enough to Google how much their old video games are worth, because it's so widely known now that like, oh no, some old video games are worth a lot of money. You got to check first, and they'll price them accordingly, especially online. So it was one of those moments where you're just like, I like floored that this even happened to me in 2021. You know what I mean? It's still unbelievable. It's insane.
Some of them
are going to go, what?
I was going to say, somebody's grandma or mom took their games down to Savers that day.
Whew, yeah, that was somebody's probably not happy.
Oh, I bet.
It was funny. It was funny because I saw Power Stone 2 and I immediately pulled it off the shelf and I opened it, and Power Stone 1 and Power Stone 2 discs are both in that case. So it's like that thing where the guy finds a GameCube and he opens it and there's $100 bill.
Yeah.
And then behind the $100 bill is a Super Nintendo, that whole meme.
Yeah.
I felt like that. So yeah, I'm very pleased. Some of these are going to end up on the store. But I'm going to keep most of them as just like my personal collection. I haven't been able to play any of them yet. But I want to just thank you for sending me that
I was
Dreamcast.
gonna say, you should be playing them later this week.
But yeah, I'm super looking forward to testing all these out. I'll probably do a stream because that's going to be super fun. Just popping these in, seeing that they work, trying a few levels out. Yeah, I'm hyped as punch about that. And I finished my Star Fox action figure collection. I got all 4 figures from the 2015-2016 series of Jack Pacific. It's a complete set now. So, and I was gonna look up though, did they make a Crystal Fox action figure?
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah,
because if they did, I am not done.
I watched you open them on the stream. It's very painful.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I put it out on Twitter and on the Discord, and overwhelmingly
in the opposite direction.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not a keep figures in box person. I'm not. I'm just not that guy. I don't have any of my action figures in their boxes, and so it would just be weird. I don't even know where I would put them. Like, I don't even have space in here for the ones I have.
Them up somewhere.
So, yeah, whatever. I'm not I want them on a shelf to play with. That's what I want. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. I opened them. That's true. I'll probably put that little clip on Twitter and on YouTube later so you guys can check that out. Anyway, that was my pickup. And that was I can't wait to do that. I'll let y'all know when that stream is going to go live with the whole Dreamcast thing once I get it in. Cause I got an HDMI cable for the Dreamcast from my local retro shop. They had the Hyperkin one, which apparently does a pretty good job of pushing the 480p to HD.
I have that same one.
So I'm looking forward to that a lot. So John, all that being said, let's do some Price is Retro. So if this is your first time playing Price is Retro, I'm going to go over the rules really quickly. I'm going to list off a list of 3 to 5 video games, and that's the lot of games. And John is going to guess what that list of games is worth in total. He's going to give me a number, and then he's going to do the same thing, and I'm going to guess a number on his lot. Then we're going to see who got the closest. That's pretty much it. And we're going to have a little discussion about each game or whatever. This week is very special because we have not one, John, but 2 listener submissions for lists. So we have quite a bit of guessing to get through with these lists. We have Flightsy in our Discord, who is, his name's Phillips. He's a really, really great guy. Awesome member of the community. He sent me a list. And also Mechadragon from our Discord, and he's also interacts with us in other places. He's a super cool dude as well, and we are super happy to have these lists. And if you want to send us a list, hit me up on Twitter at BlockfortRetro.
Nope,
not BlockfortRetro anymore.
I was waiting for that to happen in one of these times.
Oh man, it took a while, but we got there. At Retrologic.games on Twitter. Also, if you're in the Discord, you could just shoot me a DM. And if you want to jump into the Discord and chat with the friendliest community of collectors and retro gamers on the planet, you can find all of that. You can find that link in my Twitter bio. So all of that has been said. So John, why don't you and I do our lists first, and then we'll do the other 2 lists. And we'll just see between the 2 of us who gets closest. It's going to be a big number. So we'll see.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
All right. Why don't you go? Go ahead and jump in.
So I've got another themed list of games, which I don't normally do. I think this is only like the second time I've had a theme. But so the first game is Castlevania Aria of Sorrow for the Game Boy Advance, loose. The second game is Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge for the Game Boy, loose. Third game is Castlevania Legacy of Darkness for the N64, loose. And the fourth game is Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the PS1, complete.
I haven't looked up that price in so long. And I'm positive that it's gone up. But by how much? That's the question. Okay. So, 160, 190. Okay. My guess for your lot, John, is 205.
Alrighty. So the total for my lot is $318.
Okay. All right. I'm sure that Legacy of Darkness and Symphony of the Night are way higher than I guessed. I'm positive of that now.
Yeah.
That sucks. I just haven't looked. Like, I kind of have an idea of Legacy of Darkness, but I mean, Symphony of the Night could be a $200 game by now, and I have no idea. I just haven't seen it anywhere for sale.
Yep.
You know, it's just not something that pops
people
up.
Hold on to them.
Yeah, for good reason.
Awesome.
Where else can you play that? Is that on the PlayStation?
Yes, it's on the PlayStation Store. I think you can play. Okay. It's even on mobile phones now. For some reason, it hasn't migrated to the Switch yet. I've been kind of waiting.
Yeah, come on, Nintendo. It's Konami.
Yeah, it's Konami.
Whoever has to make that happen, make it happen. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a Castlevania collection too.
That's what we'll
get. Okay, so my lot, John, is a series of games. I don't know if you know any of these. I'm just going to go for it. So the first game is Grandia for the PlayStation, complete in box. Yeah. The second one is Grandia 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, complete in box. The third one is Grandia Extreme for the PlayStation 2, complete in box. And the final game is the Grandia HD Collection cartridge for the Nintendo Switch, complete in box. The limited run.
I'm still mad because mine hasn't made it in the mail yet.
Well, if you try to buy a used one right now, this is the price.
Oh. Man,
that's the price you're guessing on.
Oh, geez, man, I have no idea what that would be because I haven't even shipped them all out yet. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're out. Right. They're out there.
So, yeah, I'm sure some retailers probably already have them. Excuse me. Let's see. That changes things a little bit. I'm just going to go with, let's just say $275.
Oh my God, John. You are dangerously close to getting a perfect score on this one. Very, very close. That was scary as F. Okay. $267 is the total lot for that. So you better screw up on the next one.
I'm kind of curious now to see what the because man, limited run games, whenever they first release and like the panic is out and everybody wants them because they missed them they go up fast. Like,
I'm hoping they come down because I kind of want that Grandia collection physical. Like, I could get the digital one, but
I told you when they were
Grandia is kind of a special game. I know you did, and you know what? I didn't have any money back then.
It's all good, man.
Now I'm rich. No, I'm not. But, okay. So this is Flightsy in our Discord. His name's Philip. He's a great guy. He sent us a list of games. He said the title is. He said he has a theme, and he said this is the theme. In Rhythm Heaven, we'll meet again.
Oh, jeez.
So, game 1 is Rhythm Tengoku for I think that he didn't give me consoles, but I think that's a DS game, complete in box.
Okay.
The second one is Rhythm Heaven for the DS, complete in box. I don't know what Rhythm Tengoku is for.
I don't know that.
And I can't Google. I can't Google anything.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. That's all right.
We're just going to have to leave it as is.
This is just going to be a total up in the air guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
and then let's see. The third game is Rhythm Heaven Fever for the Wii, complete in box. And the fourth game is a game called Rhythm Paradise Mega Mix. This game was digital only in America. Also, so I got to use the PAL version for the physical game for the 3DS, complete in box.
Okay.
Gosh, he got tricky with this one. So
I think I got a guess. You want me to go first or you want to go first?
Why don't you go first since you're ready?
I'm thinking $180.
Okay. I'm going to do mine real quick. So 380. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say $230. $230.
All right. What is the price of that lot?
So the total for him is $219.28. So $219.
Yeah, you were close on that one.
Yes. Okay. I've been doing a lot of research on the Rhythm Heaven stuff because I have the Rhythm Heaven for DS in the store, and I've been looking to pick up a copy of Fever for the Wii, but that's a very expensive one. I'll go through the prices, the individual prices now. Just because I have them in front. So Rhythm Tengoku is $34.90, so $35. Okay. Rhythm Heaven for the DS, as we know, that's like a $55 game.
Yep.
Rhythm Heaven Fever, $104.
That's the one that got me.
That thing that one just keeps going up. And then Rhythm Paradise Mega Mix is $25.
Yeah, the Wii version, the Wii title is the one that got me. I didn't think it was that high. I was thinking somewhere around like $50.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Rhythm Tengoku arcade game.
Was it ported?
Oh, okay. No, it was also a Game Boy Advance game in Japan.
I was going to say, it sounded to me like the precursor to
that's got to be the
Heaven.
first one. Right. Yeah. That's cool. You know what?
We're
That's
learning
not
stuff.
Super expensive either. I'd be down to pick up a copy of Rhythm Tengoku because that's $35. That's not too bad for a Game Boy Advance
Is
game.
it Japanese only?
Yeah, but don't those play, and Game Boy Advance isn't region locked, is it? Oh,
well, you can buy you a Japanese
Game
Boy Advance.
Fine. Well, now that's too expensive for one game.
Oh,
I can play Mother 3 too. I can play Mother 3 and
you could spend $10 and play that. Cheaper.
Yeah, that's what.
That's just sad. I don't think you want to play translate it yourself on the Japanese Game Boy Advance.
I wouldn't be able to do that anyway. My Japanese is really bad, meaning non-existent. Okay. So Mechadragon in our Discord sent us a list as well. This is a nice, fun, long Price is Right show. I love it. Here we go. So his first game is Sonic Colors for the Wii.
All right.
Complete. His second game is Crash Team Racing for the PS1. Oh, he says new on this one.
New.
A new price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
I bet that's up there a little bit.
The next one is Rocket Knight Adventures for the Genesis. Complete. Yeah. Oh, I got to get that one. That's high on my list to pick up.
Good.
Yeah. And then game number 4 is Spyro Reignited Trilogy and Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the PS4. That is new. And the last one is New Super Lucky's Tale for the Switch. New. You got some new games in here, Mechadragon. This is a retro show. Come on.
Yeah, they're technically remakes of old games, except for the last one. We'll let him have that.
Let's see. I'll let him have it.
Okay.
That's true.
So
that's all.
His list is kind of long. Let's
New.
First game was
So let me go over them again. Sonic Colors for the Wii. Crash Team Racing for the PS1, new. Rocket Knight Adventures for the Sega Genesis, complete. Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the PS4, new. And new Super Lucky's Tale for the Switch, new. So what do we got here? I'll go first on this one. 220, 120, 150. Okay, I'm gonna say $165.
All right, because I'm thinking 200.
Okay.
Okay, so you say 165.
Mm-hmm.
I say 200. What is the price of that game lot?
All right, price of the game lot is $240. Boo! That means somewhere I went very wrong.
Probably with the new copy of Crash Team Racing. I guarantee we both got that one way wrong.
Yeah.
How do you even
okay,
price
so I'll go through his prices. We got Sonic Colors on the Wii, complete for $15, which is my guess. Crash Team Racing new for the PS1 is $47. So I went a little under on that.
I went high on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Rocket Knight Adventures for the Sega Genesis complete is $61.
Yep. We've had that one on this segment, so.
Mm-hmm. Spyro Reignited Trilogy and Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the PS4 new is $83?
Yeah, they're about $40 a piece still.
$83.
He specified new. Sealed.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm on price charting, and that's accurate.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's for the PS4, though.
Yeah, they dip down on sale every once in a while, but their retail price is $40.
Yeah, but why is a new one $80?
Well, no, it's two games, isn't it? Or is he talking about surely there's no double pack for those. They're two individual games.
There is a double pack.
Oh,
I'm looking at the pricing right now. Yeah.
Well, I took it as two individual games.
I'm gonna look at the
lowballed it, so
I'm gonna look at the. Hold on 1 second here. Hold the phone. I'm gonna see here. Yeah, I mean, I guess it just kind of went up and up and up because they stopped selling it. People still want it because it wasn't always $80. It was a $60. It was a $50 game, and then now it's an $80 game brand new. Okay, crazy. Yeah, my guess on that one was super low, so that kind of killed mine. Whoo, weesh. All right, let's do the score, and then John, you and I will reveal the prices of our individual games. How about that?
After 3 rounds apiece of Prices Retro, Dan is at $199 of difference, and I am at $87 of difference. So I win this week.
Congratulations, John. You broke my 1 week streak of winning.
Man, I'm still the icing on the cake was just how close I got to your lot. I can't believe I was only $8.
That's probably the closest. That's got to be the closest anybody's ever gotten. It has to be. Do you have a historical data on there?
I haven't been archiving it in that way. No, I've just been archiving the wins.
All right. Well, okay. That's insane. That's ridiculous.
But I will accept this victory.
Well, yeah, because you earned it. I want to thank Mechadragon and Flightsy in our Discord for sending those along. If you want to send us a list, just DM me on the Discord. Send me a message on Twitter, and I will give you instructions on how to do that, because it's a very specific way to do it, so that nobody can see the list before the right time, including me. Go ahead and do that on Twitter, which is Retrologic.games. And then in my bio, you can click that link to join the Discord, and you can send me a message there. Either way, I don't care how you do it. Just frickin' do it. Whew. John, let's take a little break right here.
All right.
I think.
You want to take a break here, or
No,
you want to wait
let's
till
not.
after the crossplay?
Let's do crossplay first. And then we'll take a break. Sorry, false break. My fault. Good deal. So this is our last week of this crossplay. And decidedly, Super Metroid is a better game than Excitebike.
Super Metroid is better than all 4 Excitebikes together.
Man, I'm just gonna gush for 5 seconds about Super Metroid. And I've said a lot on this podcast about how great it is and the music and the atmosphere and everything. But one of the things I haven't talked about is the community around this game and the impact that it has made on so many lives of gamers. And just it all different types of people, will come onto the stream and be like, Super Metroid, oh my gosh, I love this game. Like, what part are you at? What are you doing? And some people can look at the screen and be like, oh, you haven't gotten this yet? And I've gotten help from people in the stream who just know this game inside and out. It's amazing to me how replayable this game is. I'm almost done. I have one more boss before I get to the final boss battle. And it's a short run to get to that boss. And I already want to jump right back in and play it again with all the knowledge that I have. Just because I think what added to my experience too was using the physical guide and not like an online guide or YouTube videos or whatever. Cause it really, I tried to play it as much as I could like as the game was intended. I used rewind very sparingly for very specific parts that I felt like were BS. Or like I made a dumb mistake that cost me an hour or something like that. And I pretty much, I saved at some very specific points. I did a save state at every actual save point. And then I did them every once in a while here or there, like right before a boss, or like, right before a hard part or something like that. So I wasn't like going in pure on a cartridge, but I enjoyed the game immensely. And it is now one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. Just having gone in blind, I think just is such a great experience because there's so many surprises in that game. There's so much eerie stuff that like, you don't quite know what's around the next corner. You don't know. Like, you kind of know you're on their way to a boss battle. I was legit shocked tonight when I reached Ridley's lair because I didn't know that it was Ridley. I didn't know that I was about to fight Ridley. I was just like, oh, I'm heading towards a boss battle. I were probably hints on the way. I didn't pick up on any of that. And I get there and I'm like, okay, I guess this is the boss battle. And Ridley freaking shows up and I'm like, oh, and I freak out. Everybody on stream is losing their crap. I love this game. I need to try to find a cartridge. And I mean that I don't know what else to say about it. It has very quickly risen to like my top 10 Super Nintendo games of all time now. Which is kind of like, for most people, it's like, well, duh, Super Metroid, but I've never played it before. I know other people love it, but you know what? Other people love Fire Emblem. So what does that tell you?
Hey, somebody that loves Fire Emblem told you to play that game.
Yeah, I don't know. Super Metroid clicked with me on like a molecular level. Like, I just totally get that game. And it probably has a lot to do with my experience with Metroid Prime. I can burn through Metroid Prime quickly. Like, I love Metroid Prime. I've probably beaten it 3 or 4 times. And at this point, it's like second nature to me playing that game, Wii or GameCube. So it just felt like it felt like I knew what I was doing already, even though it's a totally different animal. Like I knew I could speak the Metroid language because of that experience. So I'll wrap up my thoughts. That pretty much wraps up my thoughts about Super Metroid. I am going to keep playing it on stream until I beat it, because everybody who's been with me on the journey deserves to see a nice conclusion. So that's it. That's that.
Well,
John, do you have anything to say about Excitebike?
I meant to play the 2 Wii games, since I went back and played the 64 version of Excitebike, and this week was just too hectic for me to to get time to put into those 2 games. So I don't have a whole lot to say. I plan on playing them in the future, because they were the last 2 that I played. Excite Truck already, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. It wasn't a game that really stuck in my memory like most do. So I want to go back and play that, and I also have Excitebots, so I definitely want to try to hop in and play those at some point. And the only one I didn't have was 64, and I now have 2 copies of 64. So at some point, everyone in the community on Discord probably keep an eye out for a crossplay giveaway for Excitebike 64.
Yeah. Hey, maybe this Friday.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. I think
right
somebody else can enjoy the... Excitebike 64 did seem to hold a better place with me than the original did. I definitely played a lot more of it whenever I did play. The first game was a very quick jaunt through the 5 tracks that I had available to me. I don't know if it unlocks more, but they're adding the stunt mode, and just its conversion to 3D was done pretty well. I can only imagine at the time it was probably really good. I can't think.
Yeah.
I mean, there was probably some motocross games on PlayStation that were decent, but Excitebike 64 actually handles pretty well. But yeah, that's it's my Excitebike.
Excite Truck is, to me, probably the best of all of them.
That's kind of the consensus.
I like Excitebots as well. They're kind of the same game.
Yeah, just a little bit different vehicles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
I hope that someday they make like Excite Boats or something, or like Excite Planes. I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I can only imagine that they'd have to pick the series up at some point. I just don't know when it would be. They got to run out of ideas sometime.
Yeah.
Whenever we get the
John,
next F-Zero, we'll get that one. So.
Yes.
Be a crossover.
So John, if you are good to go, let's pick our crossplay games for February, huh?
Sounds good to me. Let's roll them.
Yeah, let's roll them. Okay, so I forgot who went first last time, but why don't you just go first?
All right. So as I was telling you before we got on here, my Price's Retro theme goes along with my crossplay theme. And you're going to be playing Castlevania for the NES. So you did one side of the Metroidvania, now you get to do the other side.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to be all Metroidvania'd out. I wonder if I have a guide for that in the Nintendo Power issue. I'll have to look it up.
For the original one?
Yeah, is that too early?
I think it's too early.
Okay, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to try to find... I wonder if there's even a guide for it. I'll have to look that up.
I'm sure there's...
Maybe somebody made
an official one out
like
there,
a new one.
It's not a super long game. I think you could tackle it.
Yeah.
Getting used to the movement is going to be the one that can't jump on stairs. There's definitely points to it. It's a very beautiful game for the NES. Like, they used every bit of the, colors and everything that you could use on that system in there.
Oh, here's a digital version of the Ultimate Guide version, which is a modern remake of the
If it doesn't have a wall chicken on the front of it, it's not good.
Dude, my experience with Castlevania is so limited.
Well, you're about to broaden your Castlevania horizons.
Yeah. Oh, indeed. All right. Okay. Player's Guide Strategy, Game Boy. No. I keep looking and I don't see anything that's not digital. All right. I don't know how we're gonna do it because I don't have a physical guide, but we're just gonna make it work. All right, man. So your crossplay game is one of my favorite N64 games.
All right.
And I hope that it holds up because it's not very complicated. It is Pokemon Snap.
All right.
With the release of the new one coming out, I figured you might want to jump into the classic and see what it's all about. It is not Pokemon. It is a picture-taking game. So do you have any... I forget if you have affinity for Pokemon or not. Did you play Pokemon? Yeah, big time. Okay. I thought so. In
fact, I played very little bit of this game like as a demo at a kiosk. I never did buy it though. Never owned it, never played a whole, very much of it. That's why I put it on the list because I don't feel I had a good enough grasp on how it worked. So I didn't count it as that I've played it at that point. I do have a physical.
That's the same with me in Super Metroid.
Yeah, I have a physical guide.
I play Super Metroid one. Awesome. You won't need it, but okay.
I want to get all the points.
It's pretty easy, and I mean, if you want to do all the secret stuff, then it gets pretty complicated. But just getting through the end of the game, it's like maybe 5 hours, and you could just beat it and be done with it. But I hope that you dig through it and see all the cool stuff because there's a lot of really fun interactions in that game. And just as a kid, because you played it as a kid too, as a kid playing this game, seeing your favorite Pokemon in like really like at the time was really impressive 3D. Because they're all animated and they're doing their thing in 3D it was better than Pokemon Stadium because Pokemon Stadium the interactions were very limited static. And they did pretty much the same action the whole time, but in Pokemon Snap they're running all over the place, they are jumping out of bushes, they're attacking each other, they're doing all kinds of stuff. So just as a kid playing that game was like mind-blowing, like wow, Pokemon in 3D is finally here. And the gameplay is not bad.
Nope. That'll get me primed for the sequel coming out here.
Do you have a way to stream the N64?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I would love to see that. That'd be great.
Yeah. We'll have to get it going. I should have some extra time coming as we're getting settled in with everything finally. Hopefully it won't be as busy.
Yeah, with the baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
He started daycare this week, so I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
You don't need a lot. Yeah. You don't need a lot of time with Pokemon Snap. You can jump in, do a round, jump out. So hopefully you get in there. And it's a good thing I just picked up the Castlevania collection on Switch for $5 because didn't know that was what you were going to make me play. But here we are.
Yeah, you had to get you have an NES Classic, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but if I can play it portably, that's gonna make my jaunt through it way.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's why I told you guys to all buy the Castlevania collection.
Yes. Yep. If you're gonna be a part of the community, you got to jump in those digital sales when they're on. So let's take a quick break, John, and when we come back, we'll do This Day in Gaming History. We'll talk about a little bit of news. And we will finally jump into our first Retro Rewind game. So we'll see you guys in just a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. We are about to jump into This Day in Gaming History, where we take a game that was released today, which is February 1st, 2021. Well, not today, but you know what I mean. You understand. I don't have to tell you. And And we haven't had very many of these in the past couple weeks because January, generally speaking, is fairly light on game releases. But this week, we've got a couple things to talk about. And I think, John, you're going to kick us off. What's your game for this day in gaming history this week?
So the game that I picked out is Vigilante 8, The Second Offense for the Nintendo 64. This game came out on February 1st, 2000. So this is a 21-year-old game now. And This is a series that, man, my friends and I would rent this game and play all the time because it's basically like I don't even know how to explain it. It's not really racing, but it's
Twisted Metal.
It's Twisted Metal.
It's basically Twisted. Is it racing or is it like combat, like Destruction Derby?
It's more like Destruction Derby. It's combat.
Okay.
You have to try to destroy certain things and get points, and there's aliens, and it's just all over the place. It was nuts. At one point, you unlock a UFO. You have to fly around and do
like
stuff.
A playable UFO?
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I love when games used to do weird stuff like that, like unlockable, just random, like. I'm trying to think of another example.
Like unlocking a police officer on Tony Hawk.
Yeah, or like unlocking the dolphin in Wave Race. You can ride a dolphin around. That kind of stuff. Like games don't do weird stuff anymore. Bring back the weird stuff. Come on, guys. Crying out loud.
But yeah, it was that game was a blast back in the day. Good multiplayer.
So you played it on the 64? Because that was a multi-console release. I remember it on the Dreamcast.
I was going to say Dreamcast and probably PlayStation.
Awesome. I don't have a lot of experience with that one. I probably played it at a friend's house once or twice. But I definitely played a lot of Twisted Metal.
Yep.
That was a pretty big one. So that kind of game I can totally get behind. And and Star Wars Demolition, which is like I love Star Wars Demolition just because of how bonkers it got. Like there's all kinds of vehicles, like AT-AT and like speeder bikes and all kinds of stuff. And then there's just Boba Fett
by himself.
In his jetpack. Yeah. And you're like this tiny little guy and you're like, I have missiles.
He's
like,
not even in the Slave One. He's just hanging out.
No, it's just, yeah, exactly. So I love those games. So my game today is very timely because in 1994, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was released.
Man.
So, yeah, 27. Oh, wait a second. This is February 2nd.
That's all right. I think you grabbed one
from the phone
the day after, but it's all right.
That's not what I wanted to do. You know what? I'm going to talk about it anyway. So Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was released February 2nd, 1994, 27 years ago today. So my brother was the one with the Sega Genesis. I had the Super Nintendo. But I remember, I have a lot of memories of Sonic the Hedgehog because we played all the Sonic the Hedgehog games. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is beautiful. There's not a lot of difference with it, like within gameplay between the Sonic games, unlike the Mario games where they change drastically every time you get one. So it's still your basic Sonic game. It's a little more maze-like than the other two. You can get lost in the levels a lot easier. But it is, in my opinion, the best looking Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog game. Just super lush, tons of stuff going on in the background. And it just keeps the hits rolling with the soundtrack too. You start off with this airplane animation that just looks awesome. I mean, it is just so good looking, man. And it's tragic really because inexplicably, the last time that we were able to play that game on a modern system was GameCube PS2 with the Sonic the Hedgehog collection. For some reason, Sega has decided that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles are no longer going to be on collections anymore. It's not on the Genesis collection for the Switch or the PS4. It's not on the collection for the PS3. It's not on the Sega Genesis Mini. It's not a Sega Ages game. What is happening with Sonic 3? I want to know, Sega, what the hell is going on? Because Sonic 3 is a great game. We deserve to play it. So that's my rant for today. And yay, Sonic 3. That's it.
The game came out on Hedgehog Day, not Groundhog Day.
Yeah, the wrong day. Oh, man. Okay, so let's jump into our news. Just one piece of news this week. We're going to talk about the Pixel FXS N64 HDMI adapter. Wait, no, sorry. It's just Pixel FX.
Yes.
This looks promising. I'm not going to lie. I have been burned before with N64 HDMI stuff, so because it's kind of a hard system to translate. So they're promising digital lag-free HDMI output to 1080. Presumably they're going to do scanline. They're going to do pixel multiplication to get it up to that like the RetroTink. Analog RGB multi-out, so that's interesting. Simple firmware update through Wi-Fi and video filters, which is pretty cool. That's very interesting. And it has a little menu option that pops up over your game, your little menu screen. So you can has different settings and all kinds of stuff. There's got some screenshots here. Oh, that's it. The Warrior 64 are what I was thinking about because
the Warrior 64 is a whole console.
Yeah. I know, but it had HDMI out and ended up being really not great.
Yeah, we'd already talked about that one a little bit, but
yeah, and the other one is the Super 64 HDMI adapter, which works well, but it's also not super great.
Yep. It's pretty neat though. You can update this through Wi-Fi as well, so it has a chip in it. So I imagine this is probably going to be a little pricey. It's probably not going to be as affordable as some of the cheaper options we see today. Right. But as long as it
no, I mean the Super 64 is $150.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there's some other options in between that are on the lower side. I'm hoping this one kind of lands in between, like maybe $100. It might be worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. It's certainly going to do better than the Hyperkin cable, which is what I use right now, and that's not really great. Yeah. Cool. Well, that is very cool. And once we get pricing, it's coming in April 2021, and once we get pricing, we'll drop that in our feeds. So that is very cool. John, we are beginning today with our first Retro Rewind event for the community.
Yeah.
So what Retro Rewind is this is our book club style gaming event for our community where we are all going to play the same game all month. And then at the end of the month, we're going to get as many of us together as we can to have a little podcast chat about the game. This is our Nintendo Dad's arm, our Nintendo Dad's wing coming out and supporting that community as well as the Retrologic community. So if you're from the Nintendo Dad community, welcome. Welcome to what we do here, and we are excited to play Sonic the Hedgehog in the month of February. There are tons of ways to play this game. I listed them off a few episodes ago, but just as a refresher, it is on the Switch as Sega Ages or on the Genesis Collection. Also the PS4 and the Genesis Collection. It's on the PS3 and it's not on the Wii U. So
No.
don't look there.
Definitely not.
But it's also free on mobile phones. It's on the GameCube. It's on the PS2.
So
just there's so many ways to play this.
So the Nintendo dads give us this, and then their first game is not a Nintendo game. I love it.
My understanding was they gave it to us so that they could extend beyond Nintendo with the retro content. Because as much as we love Nintendo, there are other worlds out there of retro content to enjoy.
Oh yeah, we like to mix it up around here.
We wanted to mix it up. So we're doing Sonic the Hedgehog. Feel free to jump into the game and play it and enjoy it and take some notes and see what clicks with you, what doesn't click with you, what you love about it, what you hate about it.
So where are you playing this game at? Are you playing it on the Switch?
I'm going to do two things. I'm going to play it on the Switch. And I'll probably stream some of it on the Switch as well. But I'm also going to play it on original hardware as a point of comparison. I just kind of want to get a vibe for what it was like on original hardware. It's been many, many years since I played it on original hardware. I played it maybe like a year and a half ago on the Genesis Collection on Switch, actually. So, I mean, it's not a hard game to get through. Just save your rings for the final boss battle. That's all I say. Final boss battle is no joke. But so I'll probably beat it on the Switch game, and then I'll play through as much as I feel like on the original hardware and get like kind of a comparison.
So
we gave away a copy of the original game to a lucky winner in our Discord. Was that Eric? I think it was Eric who won that. It was either Eric or Spider Shan.
I think it was Spider Shan.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Spider Shan. So it was a complete in-box copy, a beautiful copy of Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know if he has a Genesis.
I think you might have stirred him to start a Genesis collection.
That's right. Yeah, I think I accidentally started him off on that journey.
So I'll be...
Yeah, how are you going to play
I'll be playing it on a console that you did not mention in your list. I picked up a Genesis collection for the PSP.
Hey, there you go.
I'm going to give that a go and see how I like that.
Sweet. Yeah, that'll be nice. I thought you were going to say you were going to play the game. You were going to play the Game Gear version.
No,
which is not the same game.
No, not the same game. Eric could probably play that, but I don't have a Game Gear.
We'll make Eric play that, and he'll give us some tips. Nice.
But it's gonna be pretty good.
So do you have any? I'm really excited. Do you have any past experiences with this game? Like, did you play it as a kid at all?
Oh, yeah. I played the original. To my knowledge, I've never completed it. But I have a lot of memories of playing through the casino nights zone. Yeah, that's the one that sticks out to me the most.
Some of the best music.
The music is
some of the
fantastic.
Best music, for sure.
But I had a buddy that had a Sega, and I think this might have been like one of the only games he had, so we played quite a bit.
Came with his Genesis.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah. We like I said earlier in the episode, we had a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo. The Sega Genesis with my brothers, but man, just I really have a soft spot for Sonic the Hedgehog. He's such an icon, and his games get a lot of crap nowadays because there's just some idiosyncrasies with having to go fast and do intricate platforming. It just isn't. It's just tough.
I think one of the problems is he had to go 3D at some point. It kind of was the downfall.
Yeah. Yeesh.
I mean, the first game,
Sonic Adventure has its high points.
I was gonna say the first game they kind of figured out a little bit. It was just what they did with it after Adventure 2 would kind of just, I don't know what they decided they wanted to make it something else, and it just didn't. It's not what the fans wanted, so I think they learned that lesson.
But the original the original Sonic the Hedgehog still suffers from that, where it's like, I'm going too fast and I can't see what's coming and whatever. And there's some really fun parts. Like, there are some parts that are like, oh, I get to go fast. It's really fun. This is great.
And then there's spikes.
But all of the infuriating parts of Sonic the Hedgehog are when you have to do like intricate platforming, you know, or you're underwater. I hate the underwater segments of Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm just going to flat out say it. I can't stand it. It's a terrible mechanic. You die all the time. It's awful. You just spam the rewind, okay? If you're playing on the Switch, just use the rewind. It'll save you from dying so much. But overall, I really enjoy playing the Sonic the Hedgehog games, and I enjoyed them as a kid, and I enjoy them now.
Maybe they'll just add a fast forward button, and you can just skip that part.
The last thing Sonic needs is a fast forward button. He needs a slow down button.
Yeah, every time you get going fast, there's always spikes or something.
Awesome. Oh, man. Okay, so we are getting dangerously close to wrapping up this episode. But before we do, I wanted to highlight some of our community stuff going on. One of the things we do every Thursday is we get together and we share some stories of games that we played as a kid. And you're welcome to share or welcome to just kind of read what people write. And try to highlight one every episode if we have time. And we certainly do have time on this episode. So this week for Throwback Thursday, I want to highlight Neoprime. Good old Tim, who is in our Discord. He gave us a post from last week's Throwback Thursday, started talking about the Atari 5200. And he says, if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll recognize my throwback. It's a pic of me at my grandparents playing football on the Atari 5200. My grandparents and parents bought heavily into the Atari 5200 system and games. And then the video game industry crashed, and fortunately for me, my dad loved garage sales and bought up everyone's 5200s and games. So they had like 3 of them in the house. Unfortunately for Tim, Nintendo came around and grandparents, I'll just read it as him. That was weird. Unfortunately for me, Nintendo came around and grandparents and parents wanted nothing to do with another gaming system. I will say that besides football, I loved playing Breakout, Jungle Hunt, and River Raid. But my most favorite games were Star Raider and Quicks. Ah, the memories. P.S. This is why the SNES was my first Nintendo, since I had to buy that myself. Because the original Nintendo, his parents didn't want to buy him. So the Atari 5200 is a monster. It's a huge console that nobody bought. And I remember we used to get them in when I worked at a retro shop, and just those controllers never worked. It's a real shame because it is a really cool system. If I remember correctly, the controller was both a knob that you turn and a joystick.
And you could store them inside the console.
Yeah. So it was just, it was a really, really cool concept. Just kind of hard to, just hardware wise was not very well built. So that's unfortunate. But thank you, Tim, for sharing your Throwback Thursday with us. And John, did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
Check me.
I think we're done.
I think
we went through everything.
I think that's it for this episode. And what an episode it was. Make sure that you are playing Sonic the Hedgehog. Make sure that you are on the hunt for Dreamcast games at your local savers.
Watching the new Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon series that's coming out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. New voice actor, too. So
apparently the old one's not super happy about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Lots of Sonic in the news these days, huh? Not a bad thing.
Coming back. I'm waiting for another reboot.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they go retro with Sonic the Hedgehog as like the main line, you know. Let's get a Sonic Mania 2. I would be so down for that.
Agreed. 2D Sonic is best Sonic.
Good deal. Well, thanks for listening to the Retrologic podcast. If you like what you hear, check me out on Twitter at Retrologic.games. You're also more than welcome to jump into our friendly and 100% non-toxic Discord community. The link to that is in my Twitter bio. And you can find all the things, the Twitter, the Discord, and the store at Retrologic.games, my website. So, thank you for listening, and I will see y'all next week.
Bye now.